When I was in the military, my friends and I started this tradition of the Google challenge. Somebody would say something outlandish, and then somebody else would raise a Google challenge, searching through Google to either disprove or prove the validity of the original statement. It wasn't enough to simply state that something was wrong, but instead we had to go and either find something that proved that the argument was in fact true, or find facts that solidly disproved the particular argument in question. Apologetics is defined as a systemic argumentative discourse in defense of a doctrine. You see, an effective doctrine of a subject will take an honest look at the evidence presented and make a case for it. If the evidence is not convincing, then the defense falls flat. For that evidence to be convincing, we should look at it in a critical manner. In other words, we can't simply take a statement at face value. Instead, we should look at science and logic and historical record and archaeological evidence when available to either prove or disprove a particular stance. The former Dateline cold case investigator and former atheist turned Christian apologist J. Warner Wallace puts it this way: everything counts as evidence, including the behavior of the original witnesses, the testimony of those who listened to the statements of those witnesses, the touchpoint corroborative evidence of archaeology, the internal confirmation of geography, politics, and proper nouns, and the deficiency of alternative explanations. These forms of evidence, or something very similar, are used in criminal trials every day. To leave out any evidence in objection to your defense is intellectually dishonest, leaving you no closer to the truth than when you were when you've restarted the argument. Apologetics should take this open-minded and honest approach into looking at the world around us for evidence available in an earnest attempt to discover the truth. To some extent, everyone's an apologist. Everyone has something that they would defend with passion or fervor, despite how well equipped they may be on the particular topic, or how much knowledge that they may have or surrounding the events that they claim to know. However, in today's age of information, we tend to accept the word of proclaimed scientists and political pundits, or what our favorite TV show is espousing, instead of doing the work that it takes to find the facts on our own and to discover the truths that are behind those facts. And we accept these things just because it makes us feel good. I'm convinced that if we take the spirit of this Google challenge and apply it to the questions that we have in our own lives, then we can go and dig further for the truth, finding out the facts for ourselves, and then displaying those facts in a way that leads us to discovering what the truth of the matter actually is. And what question could be more important and more consequential in all of human history, and especially the world today, than is there a God? And if there is a God, then who is that God? What's that God's nature like? Does that God love us? Thomas Jefferson once said, "Question with boldness even the existence of God, because if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear." Whether you're a believer or you're assured that there is nothing more to life than the particles around us and the space in between those particles, then surely questioning what we believe and searching for facts that either prove or disprove our original thought is better than blindly accepting someone else's conclusion. This study of apologetics has emboldened my faith and bolstered my own relationship with God. I hope that through our examination of the evidence available to us, that you can come to the same conclusions I have, that there is a God and that God loves you and that God is the God of the Bible. Please continue to follow along with me as we learn more about this God through the evidence available, and that we question our own belief and come to our own conclusions through those evidences. Until then, may God keep you and bless you. Really quick, before you go, let me explain why I felt led to start this channel. When talking to Pilate, Jesus said, "I have come into the world to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." Pilate responds by asking, "What is the truth?" It's evident that a lot of people are still asking this question almost 2,000 years later. And while we live in an amazing time with the wealth of the world's knowledge available in the palm of our hands, there's often too much information, leaving people unable to process what's true and what's not true. Paul describes such times in this way when he writes his second letter to his disciple Timothy. Always learning and never able to arrive at a knowledge of the truth. There are several who expound on what truth is, but often they are misguided, or they are malice in their intent, or they're being intellectually dishonest. My hope is that I am able to provide evidence for why the scriptural narrative is true, a contextual and practical explanation of the principles found in its writings, and a defense for other believers. As Peter explains, you should always be prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect. If you find value in this channel as I do, there are a few ways you can help, both by gifting and without spending any money. First, react and interact with these videos wherever you're watching from. This greatly helps the channel be seen by others and new people. Next, please share this content with others you feel may benefit from the information found here. Also, please subscribe to this channel on all social media. And finally, if you feel led to, and if you have the means to, please consider giving to this channel through the outlets previously mentioned, or the channel's Patreon. All these links are going to be in the video description. Thank you for watching, and may God keep you and bless you.